I mean, what was worrying is apparently the CEO chats with the hospitality lot last night. And the bit that scared me the most out of all of it was the fact that he said we will judge Clement at the end of next season. So not even this season, the end of next season. But I don't think there's any plans to let him go, Brian. I really don't think there's any plans for him to let him go at the moment. And I mean, fantastic Mr. Fox there saying that Patrick Stewart doesn't have the money or the cojones to sack him. I agree with Martin. I think we do have the money to sack him because we always have that contingency in your back. You don't do these things without having the money in the background to do it. Stephen Robertson again with another $5 Australian dollar, and I'm not doing the accent because I'm worse at it than Martin is. I tried it last night reading a book to my son. I'm not doing it again, not a chance. Patrick coming from Man United is a good thing? Question mark. Can't say that they were great financially, spending big, missing Champions League money consistently. Is that? I mean, I'm not sure you can blame Patrick Stewart for that, though.
I wouldn't say you could singularly sort of blame him, but he's obviously had a cog. He's a wheel in that cog, so he's obviously had some say in spending and saying things. But I wouldn't say he's singularly responsible. But he's obviously came from Manchester United, who are obviously arguably one of the biggest clubs in the world, certainly in the top three. So or sort of managing Rangers' finances and Rangers as compared to Manchester United is a massive difference. I mean, it's just when I read that last night that the hospitality people have been told he's going to be judged on not the end of this season but the end of next. So is he honestly trying to turn around and say from early February 25 we're going to have to actually put up with this manager till May 26? I mean, the fans are already, disillusioned as it is. I mean, there's no way they could stomach having this manager until the end of next season. I just don't see how that's feasible. There'll be crowds of 10,000 at Ibrox at this rate. You know what I mean? It's just not gonna wash with the fans. The fans have spoke. They've had enough. The Union Bears did their walkout last month. Folk were booing them for doing it. But they were proven right at the end of the day. The Union Bears, you could say that you could argue they were proven right because things haven't improved. The CEO Patrick Stewart actually said, games have to improve, results have to improve, and they haven't. They've got worse. You cannot survive getting beat by Queen's Park at home and not face the P45. I'm sorry, it's unthinkable that a manager can still be in position after a result like that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, so no secret in it. Last night, I got told to leave the house last night. That's how angry I was. The game was still going on. There was still time, but I was angry. There was a lot of swearing going on. Kids are in the house. Wife's like, "I think you better go out for a bit and cool down." No, I've got to stay just in case. And then Tav goes and misses a penalty to make me feel even better. But no manager can survive that. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what club you play for. If you I'm sure this morning, because he's got a lot of credit in the bank, Liverpool, we're not having this same conversation about Liverpool getting knocked out of the FA Cup by Plymouth. But if Slot was in the position that with Liverpool that we are with Clement, and they were not providing what they needed to on the pitch, and they're falling way behind their rivals, and then got beat by Plymouth, you can guarantee they're having the same conversation this morning that we are. But there is no manager that can survive any of this at all. He should be going. We all think he should go, but the people that pull the strings and all the rest of it at the top of the club, they're not going to do it, and because they would have done it by now if they had the chance. And I just don't see them doing it this time. Wonder how long it would take to get rid of Clement. Does anyone know? Gaz 1872 with a $9.99 super chat.
How long's a piece of string? I mean, at this stage, you could throw a dart at the calendar and any date's possible. This is how random it is now. I mean, regards to Liverpool, they're 6 points ahead. They've got a game in hand against Everton midweek, potentially going 9 ahead. I think if we were in that position, in the league, we wouldn't be asking for the manager to leave. It's the fact that we've, our away form has been utterly atrocious this year, this season. Lost in the cup final against Celtic. We've done really well in Europe. I'll give them that. But to lose in the manner we did against Queen's Park and the substitutions that happened against Queen's Park, a lot of people have now, they've made their minds up, and I'm afraid when fans make their minds up and they voice their opinion, it's very difficult for a manager to come back from it, and not very often does a manager come back from it.
PC replied to Rangers manager, without a trophy in a season, he said he knows he's safe. We're in for some more bad results into next year. Now, we can't, as a club, if that's the case, Brian, then we have accepted the Dortmund role, the Espanyol role of just being a second club and allowing one team to just run away with it constantly all the time, and we're never going to challenge. Maybe, like Brighton said, one every 5 years we might pop up and win a league because they have a bad year. But if that's the case, then the board have accepted second best.
It seems to be. And this attitude of second best has pretty much been ongoing since, you could argue, Gerrard left the building, because he didn't put up with second best. He demanded the best. It's very disheartening as a fan of Rangers to hear or surmise that a board are thinking that, because our club has been built on success over the years. European finals, league titles galore, and it's quite galling that a board are now apparently looking like they are accepting second best. You'd think when they came in the building and they seen all the trophy room and the history, you would think that they would understand that this club is built for winning. Some of the players that we've had over the years, you would think that they would, want to help create more of that. But unfortunately, they seem very happy with doing well in Europe. I think, there's a quote here from William Noble on Patreon. We have a European manager who can't manage in Scotland. Yeah, Europe, you cannot argue with them. This is the frustrating thing. We go away to Manchester United, nearly get a result at the death. We win away in Nice. I think he went 7-8 games unbeaten in Europe away from home. That takes some going. You know what I mean? That's not an easy thing to do. But yeah, he just doesn't seem to get Scotland. He just doesn't seem to I seen somebody on a podcast say yesterday that it seems to be another sort of Paul Le Guen situation. Great in Europe. I was
going to say exactly that. They said it literally ticks all the boxes. If you put Paul Le Guen and Clement next to each other and put up all the things, you tick exactly the same boxes.
And look what happened to Le Guen. How many months did he last?
But that's because the players in the club at that time were like, we're not having this. This is not what Rangers do. Because Correct. You had your Barry Fergusons, you had those guys in there who were winners. Mont doesn't realise what a defeat really means. He just sees it as, we did well on shots, blah, blah, blah. We'll learn and results will improve. And that comes from, that works for you in Belgium. It might work for you in France. It didn't work for him that well in France, to be fair. It is that old thing in Scotland that is one drop point is a bit of a disaster. Losing a game is a catastrophe. And having the season that we're having and is all out end of the world scenario stuff. You just can't get away with it. It's win every game because the other side will. And if they are, we don't. They win big shiny silver things to wave at people, and we don't. And the fans will not have it.
Yeah, as you said, a draw is a disaster, and a loss is a crisis. Let's be honest. And if you go two games in a row with a loss, that is utter bedlam. Then that is like apocalypse stuff. If you lose 2 games in a row, and I just fail to see how this board are, they're seeing things on socials. They're obviously at this ground yesterday when the full-time whistle went. They're hearing the boos, they're hearing everything. I fail to see how this board are just not willing to do
1
anything.
second.